Welcome to the garden today. We're going to be doing a little bit different today. I'm going to be planting that loquat tree that I've been saying I'm going to be planting for the last 2 months. And it's sitting way up over there right now, but we're going to have to make a spot for it. 'Cause I did not want to plant it anywhere in the garden where we're going to be fertilizing, because if you fertilize it, it can get fire blight just like your pear trees can. So we're going to be planting in the orchard. I've mowed the orchard a couple of times to say we haven't completely neglected it. And we've also let the horse in here a couple of times, but then the horse he really destroyed one of my peach trees, so I've left him out. So we hadn't even had that to really help. Plus, if we let the horse in here, she's going to eat everything up around here. So she keeps wanting to get let in here, but she caused too much damage. The lawnmower I'm going to be using to mow this stuff down with is the Ego Power LM2135 SP. It's one of the more, it's not the most powerful one they got, but I think it's the most powerful of the 21-inch cut. There's a 22-inch cut also. Right now it sells for $750. It comes with a 7.5 AH battery. Now when I bought it, it was only $6.99, and it's having a good deal on it, and you also got an extra 5.0 AH battery. The batteries on these things what cost so much, so just be aware of that. So far I'm using the 2 original batteries that came with it. I also bought an off the market, off market battery. They don't seem to be as good. I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't seem to last as long. I've not done any side-by-side comparisons. It's also a little bit smaller and a bit lighter. So I'm going, if it's a battery and it's got the same power, 'cause it's supposed to have 7.5, just like the big battery that I get, that it came with, they don't seem to last as long. And I'm going to try to remember, hopefully, to show 2 batteries side by side so you kind of get an idea. But they're also about half the price. So, but anyway, you do put on my ear protection, and we're going to go ahead and mow with it. You have to push that button down and hold it. Now I'm going to take it and go down to about 4. I had it on 7. And mow out the little areas to be a little bit shorter. Hopefully. Okay, so we're going to plant 15 foot away from this one, probably somewhere right around in here. Plant the tree, try to stay in line, and we'll get back with you on that. So see you in a bit. Okay, show you the difference in the 2 batteries. This is the one that came with the Ego. This is the one that's off market. And if you look at it, there's, well, from that side, there's a noticeable difference in size. Now they're supposed to both be 7.5 AH. But I say this one does seem to last more like the 5.0 one than it does the 7.5 one. It just doesn't seem to last as long. That's nothing verified. I've not, but it just seemed like when we're mowing it, I mean, you know, we haven't mowed a whole lot, and we pushed the button on here to show the deal. It's showing 2 left. So I think the other one would have done better. But that's just something I thought. The way you put them in there, you just go in there, click it in, and you're done. Like I say, this is bigger, it's heavier, more expensive. If you can find one where you get a deal where you get the extra battery, I think it's well worth it. Like I say, that was my deal on it when I bought it last year, was they was given this same model, but with a, you know, 5.0 battery, which is I think a couple $100, you know, because that's what eats you up on these. Now I do like Ego and the fact that I've got the chainsaw from those, and it came with a 4.0 AH. So it really seems to do good. I've really liked it. Seems to be good and powerful. I'm going to set this over here. This is what the damage the horse did. She came over here and broke this limb, that limb, messed up that limb over there, broke a limb over there. Now that other stuff I cut down, but you know, so I'm going, I can't let you in here if you're going to keep breaking all my trees. So that's why this grew up so big. If she had been in here, it'd been worse. Now you've seen it struggle some on the lawnmower. I will say, and I'm not affiliated with anybody, okay? So I paid full price for all this stuff. Got no special deals. No one sent me anything, okay? But we did get like probably 2 inches of rain night before last, and so this ground is very wet. And when you have wet grass, it does tend to choke up the lawnmower. We also have a lot of bahia grass. That's this stuff right here, and it'll choke the lawnmower down pretty bad. I don't normally use the self-propelled part, but my son does, so it does work when you got just a regular lawn and you're just cutting, you know, this much grass. You start getting up, I mean, and this grass is almost head high for some of it, when this is shoulder high for me, so that'd be head high for my wife. Hope she don't watch this video, but she gets sensitive sometime about her height, and I said, well, just look on the bright side. You don't bump your head very often, you know. She's 5'2", I'm 6 foot. But anyway, now we're going to get through digging a hole. I did mark off 15 foot. I like to keep 15 foot away from the trees. That gives them enough area to grow in. And then I think I went 20 foot on rows. But I've had so many trees die on me that it doesn't really matter. I mean, I used to have trees in all these 15 foot apart going this way. So I missing a tree here, there, probably there. I've got 2 missing over there. 1 died over here. And that's been all in 8 years. Because I will tell you, if you're planting, a lot of these were planted in 2019 or the fall of 2018. Almost all of them were. So that gives you an idea of how old these trees are. And your stone fruit trees in southeast Texas just don't last. I mean, a lot of people say 8 to 10 years, and I was telling a county agent, I start telling people 5 to 6 years. They're just not going to, you know, even this one, which was doing good, it's a very vigorous tree, but it's got bacteria canker all through it, and right there it's dead on this side here. These limbs are half dead because of that too. You know, it's just not a very good looking tree. This branch here died on it, you know, and they just don't, that's dead. They just don't last very long. Now, I have not pampered these trees. I've not watered these trees, but we get plenty of water. That's not the reason they look bad. In fact, it's probably too much water is what we get. And I've got really good soil, so even that doesn't help you out. They have not been sprayed like they probably should have been sprayed. Well, no, not like they should have been sprayed, because I do try to, I don't, spraying sometimes necessary. If you're going to grow peach trees and nectarine trees, you're going to have to spray, or just, I wouldn't even plant the tree unless you want. You can get by with 3 or 4 years. Your brown rot won't find you. Eventually it will, and when it does, it's going to wipe out your whole crop. Now it's found me, so every year they look great, and then all of a sudden they just, you know, that brown rot hits and wipes everything out. So I've got to spray. And I was going to go on a good sprays program this year, but it just, I sprayed once and then had a late freeze and wiped all the fruit out, so I quit spraying. But anyway, we'll get through digging the hole. When we dig the hole, I'll get back with you. Okay, back again. We've dug our hole. I did want to mention that, you know, first off, we went and got the lawnmower out. We went and got the Loquat tree brought out here. And then I guess we mowed it, or did we go back in?
We mowed.
Okay, then we mowed this area coming into here, and then we took a break, and then we dug the hole, and we took a break. Because it's about 95 degrees outside right now when we started. I started about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just saying that, don't think we've done all this in one trip. Houses is right over there. Stay cool, don't overheat, don't get too bogged down in it. Don't think that me and my son came out here and did all this at one time. We was watching a video about somebody that went to Death Valley, which they went to go on a hike in Death Valley in July. Now she was a marathon runner or whatever, but she's a marathon runner up in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, no offense to y'all in Pacific Northwest, but y'all don't know what summer is. Okay, because you know, I've looked at the temperature there because one time somebody was talking about it on YouTube, and it gets down like 50 degrees every night. We haven't seen 50 degrees in months. Okay, it gets down into upper 70s, but by 9 o'clock, we're already in the 80s with a high humidity. Today, I know it was 95 on the car. We were well into 100 to 110 heat index, probably close to 110, maybe even 115, don't know. So take it easy, don't work too hard. If you start getting kind of lightheaded or start getting tired, go ahead and go in, cool off. It's not, because what got that lady, and she ended up dying. What got her in trouble was she was a marathon runner. And I'm watching a spider over here come out. And, you know, a marathon runner actually has a harder time with heat than somebody that's not. And the reason is they're all muscle, no fat. So they're a heat creating machine, and that's what gets you. It's not the fact you're in bad shape. So people in good shape think, hey, you still got energy, but you're overheating. We're gonna pull this thing out, and it's gonna fall to pieces. And that's right at 2 deep, okay? But I don't think it's gonna, because really, you probably want it to be a little shallower. I'm not gonna pull it back out though. And I'm gonna hold it up straight. You kind of hold it up straight and video at the same time, and I'm trying to keep it so. And we like to say this is some really good soil, and this is probably the best soil I've got. That's why I put the orchard here. It's a sandy loam. Like I said, we got probably 2 inches of rain the other day, and look at it, that stuff still, you know, it's got loam in it. It's not too sandy. It'll still break apart. I mean, if I was in Beaumont and you dug a hole, it'd be chunks, and that'd be chunks would stay there just like a chunk of clay. That's what it is. So now you do get subsoil, but it's growing in this top part here. That's some really good soil. And it's called Otania, if you want to know. And the reason I bought the place, it's just got some really good soil. So if you're in another part of southeast Texas and your soil is not that way, soil does matter. It's okay to be a little bit jealous, because I know if I go back and try working that clay again, it just drives me crazy. I know what you're going through if you don't have this type of clay or sand or loam. I haven't had that much experience in sand. I've been around people in sand, but it causes problems too, because you can't keep everything watered. This stuff will, you know, maintain water. There is probably a about 2 to 3 foot down, there's gonna be a water table, pretty consistent. So, and there's grubworm. But anyway, next thing we'll do, we'll water this in. I never show watering in because it's boring. But we got the thing in the ground, and I'm not going to stake it. Hopefully it's going to not move around too much. But I am going to water this fairly frequently though, because all of its roots are still this size. So I'll water it every couple of days, keep it alive, keep it going for the rest of the summer. By next year it'll be okay, because it's going to put out roots even in summer, in the winter time. So, and after that I usually don't water. So anyway, stay hydrated, don't get too hot, don't overexert yourself, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.